So attaching files, sharing documents, and uploading images. It all sounds pretty straightforward, but it's often difficult to accomplish from a development perspective and even harder to make it easy for users. I'm Michael Lane with Gearbox Solutions, and I've been sharing some successful integrations we've recently done for some of our clients in videos that you may have seen. In this video, I want to talk about Amazon Web Services S3 or Simple Storage Service, their platform for storing documents in the cloud. I'll share how easy it is and how seamless it can be across multiple platforms. We'll run through a demo and we'll get to see communicating with S3 from Claris FileMaker, PHP, and JavaScript in a browser. So why S3? Well, because we want to be flexible for our clients and be able to offer the right integration at the right time. One of the benefits of AWS S3 is that there are other cloud platforms that leverage the same basic API structure. So even if you want to store things at Wasabi or DigitalOcean or lots of other cloud service offerings, they offer S3 compatible APIs so that you can leverage your code base. So we're going to talk about three different languages that we're going to use to integrate. JavaScript, you can see a little bit of a code snippet there. It's pretty straightforward if you look at the APIs, and there's another slide to talk about all the languages that AWS S3 supports. With Claris, we use the insert from URL with all the parameters that we build in our script to pass. And then there's also an SDK for PHP, and we use that to on the server when an activity gets posted and we want to notify people. We use a PHP backend and we grab those images from our S3 solution and we send those as attachments with an email. They just show up in the email of the person being notified. So conventional file storage often is storing a file in the file system on the server, and that's fine and it can work. The problem comes when maybe that server goes down and you need to switch to a different server. The files are not associated with the data on a different database unless you do some sort of synchronization. So a lot of times you'll see missing attachments, especially in FileMaker, unless you architect your solution and then try to solve for those problems that come up. So in this slide here, you can see when we switch to a server 2, the files that are attached to the database are still on server 1. That's a common thing we come across. Another instance is when you're having development, QA, and production servers. You want to be able to use that data. Synchronizing the data is one thing, but if the files, attachments, PDFs, images, Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, if they are on the file system and you want to do a test, those files are not going to be associated with that database, or rather the link will be broken. So in this slide, we're just looking at the fact that if you're testing on a development environment, you may or may not have all the images there. Same with QA, and then in production, it's also not going to be in sync. So what S3 allows you to do is use one cloud-based storage for everything. So the beauty is, no matter where you go in your solution, if you have multiple databases, as long as the data is the same, the images are in the cloud and everything points to those images, whether it's a web application or a database or any client for that matter. So you can build your solutions using a variety of different programming languages, which is one of the things that we like about AWS. You can see here there's lots of programming languages to choose from, and there are APIs and lots of documentation to help you out to get through it. We've read quite a bit of documentation, so we have leveraged JavaScript, Node, and PHP. And just wanted to point out a couple of quick references of what we do in these slides. So let's get into the demo. So we're going to jump into our demo. And the first thing I'm going to do is open up our demo file for our FileMaker solution. And I'm going to go to the AWS S3 and pull up a sample project. You can see we've got a drag and drop area here. So I'm going to add a local image to FileMaker. Let's go ahead and drag an image onto here. And you can see it created a record for this file. We have a thumbnail of it. We can give it a description. We have the name of the image, and that's it. It is stored in FileMaker. You can store things inside a container field inside the database, or you can store things as external storage, which means it's going to be on the file system, and that's the case here. So this file is physically on that file system. We talked about earlier in that slide about how that can be problematic if you're talking to multiple databases and the files are only associated with one. So I'm going to also show that when I click on this list S3 bucket, a bucket is what we call a group of files or files or images in Amazon S3. You'll notice nothing is there, nothing is showing up. So we are going to go ahead and add a few images. So I'm going to click on this project right here and scroll down, and we've got an activity. I'm going to select that activity, and I want to upload a couple of images to that activity so that someone can be notified and they can have some assets to view as well. When I talked about the PHP aspect of this, that's when that comes into play. Once you complete this and send it, the PHP will go and grab the images from S3 and make those attachments in the email. So let's go ahead and just I'm going to drag 2 files onto here. Actually, let's do 3 files. So this is leveraging that FilePond JavaScript library. You can see I uploaded the 3 files. I got nice little progress bars to show me that they're uploaded and completed, and also those 3 images now show up. So I can click on a preview. I can download the image to my computer, or I can delete the image. So let's go take a look and see what this looks like in my FileMaker system. So now I'm going to come back and list my S3 buckets. And you can see that I've got the objects listed, and I've created records for those. And all it was a very quick API call that showed me that I have 3 images up. The images themselves have not been downloaded, but I can do that individually by clicking here. So there they are. Another nice thing we can do is the image that I attached to the file itself. I'm going to go ahead and upload this to S3. So now that it's uploaded, I go back and refresh my S3 bucket, and you can see I've got a 4th image here, and I'll download it, the thumbnail, and now you can see that there it is. So it's pretty cool, and it's been really nice for our clients to be able to access images from a number of different solutions. So some of the benefits of using AWS are that you're future-proofing your system, because AWS is going to be around and it's going to grow, certainly with you and your business. Also, it's a very cost-effective solution. If you're moving to a new system or a new software architecture, chances are you won't have to reinvent the wheel when it comes to your file storage or file sharing. Some of the landmines with AWS, it can be overwhelming or at least intimidating to newcomers. There is a learning curve to some of their APIs, as well as permissions leveraging their identity and access management. It's definitely a learning curve. Also, their services have been described as an alphabet soup of acronyms, but it's been great for us. It's been great for our clients. I hope you got some benefit out of watching this, and if you have any questions or you want to discuss S3 or any other integrations, please feel free to reach out to us. Thanks for watching.